to the Field Guide, Monmouth Edition, Episode 2, the series of the podcast where we give insight to future Scots. I'm one of your hosts, Turner Plummer.
And I'm your other host, Thomas Henson, and today we're joined by Brock McNinch. For those of you who missed our last episode of this segment, he's the Director of Admissions and graduated from Augustana College, which isn't too far from here. He's also a huge fan of Star Wars. I'd love to put that in there. And then also we have Isaac Guadarrama, a biochem major from Beardstown, Illinois. Thank you guys for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this episode will cover the opportunities for campus involvement beyond academics. And as always, we like to start the episode with a couple of icebreakers. So on the fly here, Isaac, what is your favorite lab of all time here at Monmouth College?
Oh, my gosh. Favorite, like, class, like the lab? Or like,
Yeah, yep.
It's got to be probably anatomy lab sophomore year, because we dissected a rabbit that year, and it was kind of sick, but it was really, really fun to kind of get that experience here. So
yeah,
probably that for sure.
And then Brock, what is your favorite activity or hobby outside of academics? Maybe when you were in college or maybe now?
Well, you already mentioned I was a Star Wars fan earlier. I started a Star Wars club in college.
There you go. That's cool. Well, you want to get the first question?
Yeah, I can ask the first question. So like we said, we're going to talk about campus involvement today in this episode. We'll start with Isaac. You know, he's involved with a lot of things here on campus. So what clubs or groups are you a part of here on campus?
Yeah, I actually have my CV out because I do probably way too much. But on campus, I am part of Scott Student Senate, so I've been the treasurer for the past 2 years. I'm on the election committee that's happening right now. We're actually going to be hosting elections this upcoming Tuesday, so that'll be fun to see. I'm also a lead mentor on campus, so I've been a part of the mentoring program for the last 3 years, just guiding first-year students, and the last 2 years I've actually been in the role of lead mentor, so it's been really fun to kind of see the more administrative side of getting those first-year students in classrooms. I was a part of the football team my first year here at Monmouth. I was the former Alpha Tau Omega chapter president. I was involved with the Pre-Health Society. I'm involved with American Chemical Society. And those are just some things I did here on campus. I also do a lot of things off campus. So I'm a full-time CNA. I work at a nursing home in Galesburg. So that takes up a lot of my time now. But I just started that this past year. So before that, I was doing a lot of other things like volunteering. So on Wednesdays, I would go to the hospital here in town, and I would do some surgical volunteering with patients, and that was fun. So those are just some things that I do in my free time.
Yeah, there's a lot there, and I think Brock can probably tell us a little bit about, since he's the director of admissions, what is your pitch to incoming students for the possibilities here?
Yeah, I mean, we use students like Isaac as an example, right? You're studying something that I don't think anyone would consider easy, right? No one's thinking, oh, biochem, yeah, that one's easy. No, it's pretty strenuous. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But then also, you're going to look at that CV and see like 12 other things, right? So we know that there's a lot of students who want to be involved in college. They want to have a good time, especially, kind of this post-COVID time where these students, they grew up with kind of a lot of restrictions. They don't want that anymore. They want to get out. They want to do things. They want to have all of these experiences. And so a place like Monmouth, you can do that. You can be successful in the classroom. You can have a really bright, successful future ahead of you. And then you can also be involved in so many things and have all of those other experiences. So we know that our students want that. They can see that at Monmouth. They, when they come to visit campus, they have a tour with a current student. They meet someone like Isaac. They're going to hear all these things. They're going to start to see themselves like, oh, yeah, when I get here, I'm going to be doing that too. So that's kind of the pitch, like just showing them like, here's what you can do. Here's everything that you can be involved in. We make that connection with, what's interesting for the student, because everyone's a little different, right? And so, whatever is important to you, whatever you find interest in, you can find that here and you can be involved and have a really meaningful experience.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I saw from day one. When I came here, It was like, oh, I see all the clubs. I don't know what to get involved in, and I'm kind of, a little shy. And then all of a sudden you're in one, and then you see the next, and you're in the next, and then you're in the next, and then it all adds up. So I mean, that's pretty much our next question, I guess. That kind of rolls right into that. So Isaac, how do you like balance all of those commitments throughout your college career?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I wasn't necessarily involved in so much. All these things that are on my CV, I'm a second semester senior, so I'm getting ready to graduate. These are things that I've kind of accumulated over the years, and really they're all things that I just enjoy doing. And that's really, for me, what keeps me sane and, being able to do all of this stuff. It's just finding the things that you enjoy and finding things that Monmouth offers that kind of lines up with what you want to do. With me, I had some professional goals. I wanted to go to medical school and become a doctor, and so Monmouth College Pre-Health Society I was immediately interested in. And then through that, I just met a lot of friends who were involved in X, Y, or Z, and just through that, it really just showed me that you just enjoy what you want to do. And I think Monmouth especially makes it easy to find those things just because we are a smaller campus. You are going to be, friends, not friends, but you're going to be closer to people in your major and people who you're going to be spending a lot of time with. So I think that's a big benefit to going to a smaller school like Monmouth.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you pointed all those ideas out. I want to go back to your lead mentorship. Can you give us a little bit of information, during orientation week on kind of what activities you had your prospective students doing?
Yeah, so I'm just going to start by like how I kind of started started my role as lead, not lead, but first year mentor. I'm a first generation college student. I know my parents. My dad's he's a farm laborer, and so I didn't academics wasn't necessarily valued growing up, so I knew that I wanted to give back to the students who are like me and having a difficult time transitioning to college. And so that's kind of why I applied my freshman year. But my sophomore year, I really wanted to take that step forward. And after having a good experience mentoring my first class, I applied to be a lead mentor, which kind of oversees the first year mentors and kind of helps them guide their students. And so that's kind of how I found my way into that niche.
So during your orientation week, what are some of like the activities that you guys are a part of? Because I remember freshman year we did a couple of opportunities and activities. So
every year the popular favorite is Playfair. I think we already signed a contract with them to come back this year, but Playfair is kind of when all the first year students go to the football field and they do a lot of icebreakers, and it's fun. You kind of have to lean into it a little bit, but it is a lot of fun. And that's what students find most memorable. I really liked that my freshman year.
I'd say the same thing. And I was also a first year mentor with Isaac. And I think that's, being the first year mentor and being involved as a student, that's like the first feeling of involvement you get on campus is, they make you talk to other people, and that's kind of the huge icebreaker you get here. And I think that's something that they do really well with the Playfair, and I really enjoyed it. I'd say probably everybody enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think another thing that students enjoy is the involvement fair that we have every beginning of every semester. It's basically where all the groups and organizations, they kind of table outside or inside depending on the weather, and the first year students, they're kind of forced to go to this event and kind of mingle around and see what they enjoy. And a lot of time it's good for returning students too to kind of gather with your club members for the first time for the school year, and that's what a lot of people enjoy. So
yeah, and I think the really good thing about that is that it calms a lot of nerves of the students that are coming in. I remember freshman year before I came on campus, I did a tour, and then I did the academic competition, and I was nervous. I've never been on a college campus before. But I think that whole week really helped me, talk to different students that I would be with for the next 4 years and really get comfortable with them. I think without that orientation week, it would be just throwing me right into the fire. It'd be really tough. But I think it did a really good job of, calming those nerves, like I said, and made me feel a lot better coming to campus.
Yeah, I'd say the most important thing with that week, and I assume that as mentors you would agree with this, is just like, do it, go. Like, don't sit in your room. Don't think like, I don't really want to do that. Do it. Have fun with it. It'll feel awkward at first for sure. But that's an awesome way to like meet new people. You might meet like your best friend at that event, get involved, and that kind of sets the tone for then the rest of the semester going forward.
Yeah, and going back to those nerves, what is there anything that admissions does to help calm some of those nerves of those students?
Yeah, I mean, we try to do our best of, presenting student stories to our prospective students ahead of time, just to see like, okay, this is what a real student does at Monmouth. This is kind of how they operate. Trying to make connections as much as possible. We did a few virtual events this week for some students who are interested in hearing about like residence life and involvement and academics and whatnot. So, we try to make those connections, and that helps out a lot. We also try to connect them with like faculty members and other staff across campus too, so they start to get to know like, who do I need to talk to for what reasons? When I need help, who do I go to? When I am not feeling well, where do I go? Like, trying to just, take out all of the like questions that they might have and uncertainty about things, just so that once they get here, they're ready to go. And then, over the summer, they've got summer orientation and registration. So they meet a lot of the mentors at that event. So they start to get to know those faces and like, okay, who's going to end up being my mentor, right? And so just kind of slowly making those connections just to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what are some of the most popular questions you get for like an incoming student?
Oh, I mean, like one of the most popular ones, like we're a small rural school, so what is there to do, right? and like that's understandable, right?
Yeah.
But it's also a really easy question to answer because like we just heard that CV. That was long. And that was just your example, right? There's so many other things that are going on campus here. So that's definitely like the most common question that we'll get, especially around like student life type things. It's just like, what is there to do? And then it's just, all right, how long do you have? Because let's just rattle them off. And they usually start to pick out like, oh, okay, I want to do that one. I want to do that one. And they have a good idea of like, okay, we can get really involved and have a good time.
And I think that's what, why Monmouth does involvement really well. There's nothing, there's Galesburg 20 minutes away and you can do stuff there, but if you just want to do something for the night, like there's always stuff going on. There's always something to do, and that's something that Monmouth does really well. Mm-hmm. Just have something to do. There's always something to do, whether that's just your homework too.
Right, right. Like you do have to do that.
but there's events, there's things you can go, learn about. It's just great here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were just playing knockout the other day for the Day of Giving.
Yeah, for Scottsdale.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just small, cool events like that they just put on, and it's really cool.
I believe I brought this up in the last episode. I can't remember, but they always send out each week, what's going on during the week. So, and there's always students reaching out, sending out emails about, hey, this is the club that's going on right now. If or it's happening at this time. If you want to show up, everybody's invited. And that's also the other thing I love about involvement here on campus. Everybody's invited. It doesn't, there's not a specific group that, hey, only these people can show up. There's always, everybody just show up. Yeah. And you could, meet your lifelong best friend there too. So it's always good to just reach out, if you, or even try and talk to people around you, around the area, and be like, hey, what's going on campus? Is there something I could get involved with? I think just being very proactive is the biggest thing. Is during college you realize like it's not people coming to you. A lot of it is really just you reaching out and trying to, like I said, be proactive and ask different individuals or students, hey, what's going on campus and how can I get involved?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's always something new coming up too. And I mean, you're in Scott Student Senate.
Yeah.
And so like new organizations that kind of have to go through you.
Yeah.
Like, can you talk about like, what does that process look like? And maybe what are like some new organizations that have started recently?
Yeah, I was just going to say something like that. But, Yeah, Scott Student Senate, we kind of make it make it really easy for students to start their own organization. So, if you have a group of guys who want to do something, or just a group of people who want to do something, it's so easy. You just have to get in contact with our parliamentarian. This year it was Cameron, but he's gonna. We're all graduating this year. This year I think definitely more than last year, but I don't know the exact number. I know we've had a number of new student organizations that have popped up, and returning organizations. So like when a club or organization they die off, a student can revive it with a new constitution, things like that. But we've had some new groups this year, like Running Club is one of them. I won't be joining Running Club.
Isn't there like an outdoor club too? Or?
There's an outdoor society that was started last semester, and so they've been doing some good things. And some other organizations have come back, like Women's League has come back, UBS has come back. UBS
And what's
is
UBS?
United Black Students, and so there's a lot of different things that are happening, and really what Student Senate is for is just to provide resources for the current student body. So that, every school year is going to look different, and that's why there's so many different clubs and orgs popping up, and that's why there's so many of them dying off, is because the student population changes every year, and so we just want to serve the student population.
Yeah. So, wrap it up here.
Yeah, wow, we're already at 17 minutes.
we're went really fast here. So the last question.
You want to ask it, or you want me to ask it?
You can ask it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask
You got to ask it.
So the last episode, Brock asked us, a piece of advice that we have for incoming students. Isaac, what is one piece of advice you'd have for incoming students?
Kind of piggyback what you said earlier. You have to be intentional with what you want, really. Nothing. I hate to say it, but nothing's really handed to you. You just have to be intentional with what you want, and there are resources here to help you get to where you want to be. You got to go for it. You just got to do it.
I'm gonna throw a twist at you. Since we're a STEM podcast, we got to mention STEM once.
Oh yeah.
For a STEM student, what would you say?
For a STEM student?
Yep.
I don't know. Study hard. It's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I would say, especially. I can speak on the chemistry department. Everybody is just trying to help you, and really, the whole chemistry department goes by first name. That's pretty unique, especially at like the undergraduate level. So just get to know your mentors, because the people who is teaching Gen Chem to you, they might be the ones writing a recommendation letter for medical school. So it's just take advantage of your mentors that are here for you.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a piece of advice?
I gave my piece of advice
we
last
already
week.
gave ours. Brock?
No, I would just echo everything that Isaac said. He's exactly right. Take advantage of those opportunities, get to know people, and that's going to make a huge difference in your life.
I guess you can be too involved, but
You can definitely be too involved. Just do what you enjoy.
yeah.
And it's okay to pull back if you need to.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So the academics always come first. You'll know if you're over involved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all for today's episode of the Field Report Monmouth Edition. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, and then thank you guys again for being on this podcast with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And as always, if you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to follow along, see our other podcasts come out, share them to your friends and family and anybody else who wants to watch them. And just thank you guys for coming on.